Hi everybody and welcome to the Creative Kindergarten YouTube channel. My name is Amanda and for this video I'm going to show you how I use the Canva platform to create things for my classroom. I use it all the time to create all kinds of things and I wanted to create a nice little video showcasing what you can do on the Canva desktop application. I love using Canva for just about everything, and so I thought a little 101 tutorial would be a great thing for other educators who want to start using it as well to create. So if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any other questions about Canva or anything else, make sure you leave a comment down below. And you can also follow me over on my Instagram, where I share lots of different ideas for the classroom. But let's get started on this video. So what is Canva? So basically Canva is a graphic design platform where you can use it to create all kinds of things. They're constantly adding to the platform as well. So they're always coming up with new features and things that you can use on the platform. I love using Canva to design all kinds of things. I design things for my creative kindergarten business, my social media, my website, all kinds of things. I use it for Canva, but I also use it a lot for the classroom. So I thought in this tutorial, I would just go through the very basics so that you feel comfortable exploring the platform more. And then you can just take off from there and just start designing whatever your classroom needs. So first of all, you're going to need to create an account for Canva. I will put in the description a referral link if you would like to use my referral link to sign up for Canva if you don't already have an account. But there's different levels of Canva. You can sign up for a free account and then you don't have to pay for anything. It's not even like a free month. It's just free to use. You won't have access to all of the different features though if you only get the free account. Because I use it for my business, I do pay for a pro account, so there will be some features that you will see in my on my platform on the screen that might not be available to you. You'll be able to see it. Anything that's represented with this like crown thing is part of a paid service. So you can sign up for the free account, but you just might not have access to everything that you see on my screen. I will try to make sure that anything that I'm showing you in this video is you can do on the free account, but I wanted to make sure I throw that out there. There's also an educator's account that you can sign up for. I don't know the whole process for doing it because I've never done it, but you can get a free educator account if you want to go through that route if you want to, and I think that opens up all of the paid features, but you don't have to pay for them. So the first thing you're going to do is sign up for your account. Again, the referral link is in the description for you if you want to use that. If you already have one, you can just sign it and get started. And this is the home screen. You'll see that they have a lot of different templates for you to just try out right out front. You can also search for different designs, and then down here you'll see all the designs that I've created using Canva. Not all of them because I have a lot more designs in this, but some of the designs that I have been working on recently. What you can do though is just start from scratch. If you just want to create a regular design that you're going to print out, you can go up into the top right hand corner over here where it says create a design, and you're just going to click on custom size. And you can see down here that I already have recent ones, but if you want to make just an 11 by 8.5 inch paper that you can print out, you would this would be landscape, or 8.5 by 11 would be portrait. So you pick which one you want to use and you can just type it up here, but make sure you change this to inches or else that won't work. And then you type in the size that you want to use and you just create a design. I also want to mention while this loads that you can also use Canva on your phone. They have an app. I use that app all the time on my phone. It works really well. And anything that you create on the desktop, you can also have access to on the app and vice versa. So you can be creating something on your phone and then switch to your desktop, or you can create something on the desktop and you want to save it to your phone, you can open it up on your phone. So it makes it really easy to go between the two platforms. And as long as you're signed into your account, you can just access whatever you need. So now you see I just have a blank piece of paper. There's nothing created on it yet. You can see that it's even an entitled design. I'm just going to put it YouTube video design, whatever you name the file up here. will be searchable within your design, so make sure you name it something. If you're going to be using Canva a lot, name it something that you'll be able to find when you search for it on your account. You'll be able to search over here for different things. So if you name this something and if you just random, you won't be able to search for it later. So name it something that you'll actually search for. You can see on the left-hand side, there's all kinds of options here. Again, not all the options will be available to you if you have a free account. So just take note of that. While we're looking, you can see that there's a lot of crowns where it says pro over here when I'm sliding over design. And that just means that if you don't have the pro account, the paid account, you won't have access to some of the elements within those designs. Canva has a lot of templates for you to search. So you can search, let's just search a calendar template. And let's say you find a calendar template, I'll find a free one and it says July 2022 and I really like that one. If I click it, it auto-populates the whole template into that blank design that I just created. And I now have a calendar that I can print out and use. If you maybe don't like that one and you say, oh, I really wanted, I don't know, I'm trying to find any free ones. I really wanted this one instead. You just click on it and it replaces the one that you used. If you had one calendar and you want to add a page, go here, gives you another blank page. This is now page 2 and you can add a different one on there. So you can add a page at any time and that gives you a blank page to start off with. If let's say you want to duplicate this, you want a second one of this. Let's say I changed it to July 2022, but I also wanted one for August. Up here, you'll see that there's different options. There's the duplicate page option right here, duplicate. And now I can put August 2022 and I have July and now I have August on page 2. I added April 2022. I actually don't want page number 3. I can just delete this page and then I don't want blank number 3. I'm going to delete that page as well. And now I have the 2 pages that I need. Let's say you have a lot of pages. You have like 30 pages. In the right hand corner over here, you'll see there's a button and you can see all of the pages that you have. So if you have like 50 pages, you can see them all here and jump to whatever page that you need by double clicking on it. And so that's just basically how you use templates. If that is something, you can search the templates and find different ones. I just picked a calendar because sometimes we just need a simple calendar that we can write things on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset my page so that I can show you some other design elements. So I'm just going to use a blank page to get restarted back where we are. So that's the templates tab. If you go to the elements tab, this is basically where I do everything. This is where you'll find everything that you need to create designs within Canva. And you can search up here for anything that you might need. Let's just say I need a picture or an image of a cat because my students are really interested in cats. So I'm just going to search cat. Press enter. Now you'll see that a lot of different options start popping up. Again, some of these options are from the pro account, so you might see them, but if you have the free account, you might not be able to use them. But you can see we have a lot of different elements that have popped up when I just typed in cat. You can scroll through and decide if one of these is the thing that you need. I mean, you can also sort them up here by what kind of element it is. You need a photo of a cat, you can click on photos. And it'll pop up a bunch of photos. If you need graphics of a cat, so this is more like drawn elements instead of the pictures. These are more the drawn ones. Maybe you need a graphic instead. Maybe you need a video of a cat. I think all the videos will be for the pro account, but if you get the educator account, you might have access to them. And then you can also get audio with cat stuff happening. And also these are also pro. But you can sort through them up here. There's also a way to sort by different elements in the filter tab over here. So now we have lots of different photos of cats. So I am in the elements tab. I searched for cat and now I've clicked on the photos filter. And now I have all these pictures of cats and I get to pick which one that I want. So I really like this picture of this cat over here. I'm trying to make sure I'm not picking any pro elements so that you can follow along. I really like this image of a cat. Really cute, perfect for what I need. He looks kind of saucy in the picture. And now we have this, I just clicked on it and it pops up on my blank page. I click on it again, I can move it around the page. And over here in the top corners, you'll see there's spaces to resize the cat. And so I can make it smaller, I can make it bigger, I can do whatever I need. If you need to crop the image, let's say I don't need his paws, I just want his head. These sliders on the side here help you crop the image of the cat. And so then you can just crop out whatever you don't need. Let's say I want to reorient it. I like the size of the square that I have, but I don't like where his head is within that square. If you double click on it, it pops up the rest of the image in this kind of grayed out area. And then what's in like the focus area is what you'll see on the design, and you can move it around so that only the area that you want to show up shows up. So again, I double clicked and it pops up the whole picture, and then I can center the cat's face however I want within that square. And then you just click anywhere else and it pops it out. Again, you can resize it now within that square. If you want to make it bigger or smaller again and crop the image, you just have to go along with the sliders on the side. And now you have your picture of the cat. So those are just the basics of using photos within a design. You can search for whatever photos you need and use the photos that you need, crop them, scale them however you would like. All right, now let's say I want to get rid of this cat off the screen. I'm going to press the delete button and it just takes away that element. And instead, I didn't want a real picture of a cat. I wanted a graphic of a cat. So I'm just going to pick this guy, and the same thing applies. I can make it smaller or bigger. If you double click on it, you'll be able to move it again. You can make it so that it's smaller and crop the image itself, or you can click the crop over here and it'll bring that up. So you can either double click or click on that over there, and it'll let you, crop out unnecessary things that you don't need out of it. And again, I just want the face. So I'm just going to crop it that way. And then again, make it bigger or smaller using the corners. With some of the graphics designs, you can actually pick which colors you want to change it to. So let's say I didn't want a gray cat, I wanted a black cat. You can make it into a black cat, and now I want his ears to be extra pink, and I wanted that to be white, and his eyes to be green, or his elements to be green, I guess. And so some of the elements, not all of the elements will you be able to, or graphics will you be able to change the color. Sometimes, see this one, you can change all the colors. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. It just depends on the graphic. Of course, all the ones that I'm picking now will have the ability to change the colors, but there's just sometimes you're not able to change the colors of them, but a lot of them you can, and you can change them to whatever you need up here. So that's the basics of using photos and graphics within a blank space like this. You can play around with this and discover new graphics and new ways to do this, but there's a few other elements that I wanted to highlight because I think that they're really cool and really important. So I'm going to take this cat off the screen because we don't need the cat. And we're going to go back to the main elements tab. So I'm just going to click on elements again. This is on the left hand side over here. And I'm going to scroll down. Down here, you'll see two big ones. This one is the frames and the grids. I'll start with the grids and then I'll come back to the frames because the frames is probably my favorite feature within this. So I'm going to click on the See All on the right hand side of grids. And you'll see that a whole bunch of different things popped up. And what are these? The grids are basically where you can place photos within any of the like landscape images. Those can all be replaced by photos. And I'm just going to show you what I mean so that you can get an idea. Let's say I need to place 4 pictures on a screen. So I'm just going to click, I like the placement of these 4 images. I'm going to click on it. And it just auto-populated this grid onto my blank template. I, again, can make it smaller or I can make it bigger. I can shape it to whatever size I need so that it fits onto my blank sheet of paper. You can crop it, whatever you need to do to make it the size that you need on your paper. Then from there, I am going to go back to my Elements tab and I'm going to search up pictures of, this time I'm going to do horses. And I'm going to go to photos, and I just need a whole bunch of pictures of horses for whatever reason. I really like this picture. I'm going to click it and I'm going to drag it. And I'm just going to pop it into one of these landscape frames here happening. And it just auto fills that section with the picture that you dragged over. So let's see, now I want this one. I'm going to click and I'm going to drag it over, and it just pops it right into that frame. This makes doing things so easy. So I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to put in 4 pictures. This one, I don't like how it cropped it because this is a bigger image than this frame was. So it cropped it. It's cutting off the horse's head. I don't want to cut off the horse's head. So I'm going to double click on this picture. And again, it's going to show me the grayed out areas that are not showing up within the frame, and I can just drag it and I can reframe it. And then once I click on it, now we can see the top of the horse. So again, that was just a double click on that frame. And then I just move that image up and down and I can frame it however I want. And then I'm just going to keep doing that until I filled up my 4 pictures. And now I have pictures of horses. I don't know why I would need horses, but I have my pictures of my horses that have been perfectly framed and cropped into these 4 frames within that grid. Perfect. Maybe I didn't realize this horse was sticking out its tongue. I don't want a horse sticking out its tongue. So I am going to go back and find another free image of these 2. No, that's not a free image. I'm going to take these 2 guys. And then if I don't like it, I can just drag a new image over it and replace it. So again, you can do this with whatever images you want, with whatever you need. If you want to resize the whole grid again, you can just drag and drop it and resize it however you want. Let's say you do something and you didn't like the way it handled, the way it changed it. If you click the back button, it automatically just like puts it back to the last step. Oh, maybe I really did like what I had done. Redo. So it has the undo and redo buttons at the top here, and they make it really easy to go back and forth and fix your mistakes. And so again, that was in the Elements tab. When you scroll down, that was in the grids. I picked one with 4, but they have tons of them. Let's say you want to do a composite of all the students in your room, and you want to do, if you just keep dragging down, it takes a second to load. They have lots of different ones. So you want to do a composite of a bunch of pictures of your students. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pictures. You can do that. I would delete the one in the background. Just keep deleting. And then put this one in the middle, and now you can have a composite with 8 pictures of your students right there. You can obviously, if you keep scrolling down, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And so like, let's delete this old one, put this one here, and now you have a grid with even more pictures, and you can put pictures of your students in them. I've used this to create book cover for my students. I had pictures of each one of the students, and so what I did was I took pictures of each of the students and I dragged and dropped them into a frame like this to create a book cover with all of their pictures on the book cover, because I was able to just easily do this with a grid instead of having to place each individual kid's picture and resize it and make sure they're all evenly spaced. It was super easy to do with a grid. Okay, so I'm going to go on to the next thing. So I'm going to take off that grid. I just pressed the delete button, and I'm going to go back to my Elements tab. So we're going to restart back at the beginning. And you also can see, this isn't the next thing I want to show you, but I just realized it. Recently used up here has all my recently used pictures. So those horses that I had searched for, all those images are up here. So if you need one of the same images that you had just used and you didn't want to go back and research it for it, you can see it in the recently used one. You can see all to see even more of them in there. And you can explore more elements here. There's lines and shapes. So if you just need a line or you just need a simple shape, you can use these as well. But the best part of Canva that I absolutely love is these frames. So I'm in the Elements tab. In the frames, I had to scroll down. I'm going to click See All. So before in grid, you were able to place a bunch of images in a grid. In the frames tab, it's the same idea, but there's different frames for you to use. So let's say you need a picture with a computer screen around it. If you click on that, you get this, and I can go back and let's say I want to use that picture of that horse. Again, I just need to drag and drop it. Anywhere where you see this kind of landscape cartoony picture is where you can place a picture. So I can just drag and drop it. And now I have a computer screen with a picture of a horse in it. I don't know why you would need that, but maybe you need that for something. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to go back to frames to show you something. So again, elements tab, I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to go to frames, click see all, and I'm going to look up letter. And now you can see that I have found a whole bunch of letters that I can use as frames. I'm going to put up a picture of my nature numbers and my nature alphabet that I created, and this is how I did it. You'll be able to find a link for a template for these down below if you'd like to use them in Canva to put your own images in. I also have the PDF version that you can just use to just print out so you don't have to create your own. But this is how I created those nature alphabet and nature numbers. I just picked a whole bunch of the letters for the alphabet. So A, let's just start with the letter A, and then you could also just go letter B, and then it'll give you the frames for the letter B. So if you want to do, I did all uppercase, but let's say you want to do a lowercase version, you can do that as well. And I wanted A and B, and I also want letter C. And so I'm just clicking on them and placing them on my blank sheet or my blank template over here. And now I have A, B, and C. And you can keep going. You can add a page down here and then say D, and then E, and then F. If you click on it, it just puts it in the middle of the sheet of paper. If you drag it, you can just place it without having to move it around afterwards. And then you just keep adding a page and adding the frames to it. So now I have A, B, C, D, E, F. And again, anytime we see this cartoon landscape thing, that is replaceable with an image. So what you can do is go back to your Elements tab and search for anything you want. A is for acorn. So I'm going to look up acorn and press enter. And I don't want a cartoon. You can't place a cartoon or a graphic in here. You can place a photo. So I'm going to click on the photos little tab up here, and I'm going to find a photo of an acorn, and all I'm doing is dragging and dropping, and it auto crops it so that it fits within that frame. So now you have a letter A, acorn. Now you want to find something for letter B. Let's say you want a barn. I don't know. I'm just searching up anything. And so now you have a barn. This is a paid element. Let me see. There's a free barn over here. Drag and drop. And it's cropped out the barn. And I really want the image of the barn. So I'm going to double click on the B. And again, the grayed out area is the part that we're not seeing of the image within the frame. And so I'm going to drag it so that the barn is actually like in the letter B. It's not the best picture, I guess, for the letter B, but at least it's there. And oh, it's too small. I really want to make the barn bigger. So again, I'm double clicking on the letter B, and I'm going to use this to make the image bigger, and then reshifting it, I guess, and placing it more in the middle of the B, and then clicking anywhere else and turning it and taking that away. And now the barn is bigger within the letter B, and it's framed into the frame properly. And you can just keep going. What else can we search for the letter C? Oh, let's go back to our cat for the letter C. And we like this guy. Drag and drop it into that letter C frame. Double click if you don't like where the cat is placed so that you can, well, it's not, again, not the best picture for the cat, but you get the idea. You can just double click, resize it, and place it within the letter C. Super easy to do. There's lots of different frames. So I'm going to go back to those frames. Let's say you want a frame. Oops, I clicked on the wrong thing. There we go. We want a frame with a book. Oh, they couldn't find a frame with a book. I thought I saw one before, but if you scroll down, there was a book here. So you want something that looks like a book. You can use a frame for that. There's lots of different frames that you can look for. Number 1, and you can see all kinds of numbers popping up that you can use. So frames is probably the best element to use for me anyways, when I'm creating things for their classroom. One of the other tabs over here is the Uploads tab. When you click on the Uploads tab, this is anything that you want to upload from your computer. So these are images. I was creating memes yesterday from my phone, and so I screenshotted these Little Miss images from Google and I uploaded them to Canva. These are some pictures that I was using for my Instagram. And so these are just images that you can either upload from your phone or upload from your computer to be able to use, and they work the same as the images from within the Elements tab. So let's say I took a picture that I wanted to put in for B. I wanted to put in this picture of a book. So I can just drag and drop that picture that I used, that I uploaded myself. So that's the Uploads tab, and you would just upload media, and you can upload, again, anything from your phone if you're using your phone on the app, or anything on your computer. And the last thing I wanted to show you in this 101 tutorial of how to use Canva, I'm just going to add a blank page so that I can show you this, is the text option. So for the text option, you can add text to anything that you're creating. I have my branded fonts already uploaded into Canva. So here, if I wanted to add a heading, it already has my font that I use saved, but you can add a heading, and then over here, you can put any text. So Canva tutorial. So this over here is now a text box that you can move. I use these little arrows over here to move. You can also use the arrows to rotate it any which way you want. And so this you can use as a text. You want to make the text bigger, you can use these corners again, and it automatically resizes the text. You want to make the box itself bigger, you can just use the tabby thingies, I don't know, the lines over here. And then of course you have all the other things that you can do up here. So you can change the font. Canva again has fonts that are free, and they also have paid fonts. So anything with this little crown is something that you would have to have Canva Pro for, but any without the crowns you can just use. So you can scroll, they have hundreds and hundreds of fonts. Sometimes it's almost overwhelming how many fonts that they have. If you have the Canva Pro, you can upload your own fonts. But yeah, you just pick whatever font, it automatically just changes it to that font for you. And you can just explore the different fonts. I have my fonts that are my brand kit, my favorites that are over here. I also have fonts that were uploaded over here. And yeah, you just search through. You could also search through the fonts. So if you want bold fonts, let's say, you can search bold fonts and it gives you bold ones. And then again, you can resize it, make it bigger or smaller. You can also resize it to a certain point over here. You can change the color of your font. You can make it bold, italics, underlined. You can also automatically uppercase all of the letters if you would like to do that. And then it's the same with any kind of doc software. You can align it to the left, to centered to the right, and then centered down the middle. You can add bullet points or numbers. And then over here is the letter spacing. So if you want the letters really close together or you want them really spaced out. And then this is line spacing. So that's the space between the lines. So if you have two or more lines of text, this lets you either put them closer together or further apart. There's lots of different ways you can customize the text. One is I'm trying to put it back to one over here. You can also just type in the one. There's also effects. I'm not sure if the effects are part of the Canva Pro, unsure. But they're also, you can make the text curve, and you can like determine how curvy you want it. It's underlined, so it's looking a little weird, but there. Or you can make it like neon, and you can change the texts in a lot of different ways so that you can, create titles and things for whatever you're creating for your classroom. You can also, this goes for any of the elements as well. You can make the position and make it snap to the middle, snap to the right, to the bottom, to the top, to the left, to the middle, to the center. This makes it just easy to place things on the sheet wherever you want it. And that's the basics of using text. Again, it's nice to explore it and discover different things as well. So that's just the basics of the different elements that you can find on the left-hand side of Canva and how to use them. Again, if you have any questions about it, make sure you leave me a comment down below and I'll be able to answer any questions you might have about using Canva. But now that you've created something for your classroom, I put a lot of work into creating my ABC up here. I want to be able to download it to print it. So over here where it says share, this is the kind of counterintuitive part. It used to say, I think it used to say download up here, but now they've got a share button. And over down in the share button, and you're going to go to download, and you can decide how you want to save your creation. So you click on that and you can save it as images. So if you want to save each page as an image, you can save each page as an image. But if you want to just save it as a PDF, you can click PDF print. There's also like a bunch of other ways that you can save your designs, but PDF print and as a PNG is how I save most of my things. And you can also select which pages. So let's say I created a whole bunch of pages. I can select all pages and it'll PDF 3 pages for me. Or maybe I don't want all the pages. I just want to save page 1 because that has the design I want on it. You just click done and it's going to download, and whatever your title is, it's going to save as that title in your downloads folder, and you just click download and it's going to take a second, but it'll download and it'll save to your computer, and then you can print it out or send it to yourself, email it, whatever it is that you want to do. And there you go. You have your PDF file that you can print out. So that was my quick 101 tutorial on how to use Canva for educators. Please let me know if you have any more questions down in the comments. I did make a nature alphabet just like the one on the screen, but it is a lot better. I will put in the description for you a link to download my created alphabet, but when you download the created alphabet in the PDF, there is a link for a Canva template that you can customize and add your own images to, so that you can make your own however it is that you want it. I also will put a link to the nature numbers one so that you can get that one as well. If you would like numbers and the alphabet together, you can grab both of those. And I want to thank you so much for joining me. If you liked this video, make sure you hit that like button and you subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can get any new videos that I create like this. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you go follow me on Instagram as well, and I will talk to you all next time. Bye.